Today I'm going to show off Christopher Ward's brand new C12 Loco. And I tell you what, it's a game changer. Let's get into it! Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. Today we are talking about a watch from the company Christopher Ward. But listen, this is not any old watch. This is a big deal. Not only for the brand itself, as another statement flag to plant into the landscape of the watch world, but this is a watch that could turn this watch market up on its head in terms of movement trend setting in the affordable Haute horology market. Now in 2022, I was very fortunate enough to review the first release of the Bel Canto, a watch that even Mike France, one of the owners of the company, didn't really think too much of and didn't put many eggs in this Bel Canto basket. Well, blow me! Not only was the Bel Canto a huge hit, but it propelled Christopher Ward through the stratosphere to make the brand visible around the world like never done before. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was given this very top secret dossier full of pictures of this new watch with a strict instruction not to release this until this date. Well, sorry, we are here. Not only that, they sent me one of these watches to review as well. Do I think this is the next big thing in the watch world, particularly from the UK? Do I recommend it to you? And what does the wife think? Are you C12 Loco ready? Let's go. And ladies and gentlemen, here is that C12 Loco. And my oh my, this is not a basic field watch, is it? Now don't be alarmed by the colour. Christopher Ward do fantastic vivid colours. If orange isn't your bag like me, we can see past it. But wow, the architecture on that dial is like something I've never seen before. And that would be the case seeing as that this is a new in-house movement, and once again, just like the Bel Canto, the amazing genius watchmakers have managed to make something that is very aesthetically pleasing to the eye. To me, it looks like the case of their 12 watch, and you can either have the integrated bracelet or this beautifully comfortable FKM rubber strap with a double deployant clasp. The machining, the polishing, the finishing on this watch is absolutely phenomenal. There are many angles, many facets, not only from the dial, but also around the stainless steel case itself. Now, the DNA of this watch does look a little similar to the Bel Canto. We've got that smaller telling time dial at the top and its main feature at the bottom. The telling time subdial does look a little bigger than the Bel Cantos, which is good. And for me, on first viewing of this watch, it feels and looks more sportier, more toolier than that Bel Canto, even though it's the colour of Fanta. Now, unlike the Bel Canto, where that case was made out of titanium, it made it very light. I wasn't a fan of that, to be honest, but it was the best metal to resonate the sound. With this one, well, it's stainless steel, it feels solid, it feels hefty, it feels pricey. To my head, it feels right. Now, I'll talk about what a free sprung balance wheel actually is a little bit later, but the longer you look at this dial, the more details there are. The polished screws, the stepped part in the case to that balance wheel. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Quick spec check! Now, first of all, unlike the Bel Canto, these watches are what they call open series, which means they are not limited editions. Yeah! So if you do want one of these, you're not going to have a problem getting one. Anyway, the case is 41 millimeters in diameter, 13.7 millimeters thick, 47.5 millimeters lug to lug. The lug width, we won't really talk about. You're going to have a couple of options, this rubber strap or the integrated bracelet. But those are dimensions, basically, it's going to fit everyone. Now, part of that 13.5 millimeter thickness goes down to this awesome big boxed sapphire glass. The crown is actually screw in. For anyone that wants to go swimming with it though, it's only 30 meters water resistant. But listen, You're not taking this swimming. You're not even taking this out in the rain. This thing is a goddamn shower. Not a rain mac in sight. But if you thought the front was good, well, the back's just as pretty. Because we have a sapphire sandwich, people. Almost like graphite coloured components holding polished wheels and gear trains. This looks and feels very expensive.
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
The strap, like I said, you get a beautiful, it's a lovely, comfortable FKM rubber, double deployant, stainless steel, clasp, really well made, nice sounds. Oh, I dare say you could get a blue one of these, or a white one, or a black one, so you're not going full tango, you know what I mean? But I think this is going to feel absolutely gorgeous on the wrist. Let's take a deeper look at the face. Dial time. Yeah, with the help of the macro shots, we can now appreciate just how well made each individual component is in terms of not only its manufacturing, but its finishing. The facets are polished, screw heads are polished. Do love the framed stainless steel sub-dial ring with the printed minute markers, but those hour teeth indices are, wow, they are special. Almost looks like the old monster's mouth in Star Wars that got Boba Fett. There are so many dynamic levels. It's not something that I would usually go for. I'm usually have a look at the time, appreciate the watch, and then put my arm down. This thing, I can imagine you put it on your wrist and you just stare at it for a few minutes, maybe a few hours, and then you've realised you've missed your bus, your train, and dinner. But yeah. So when it comes to lume, well, it's only on these teeth indices and handset in the sub-dial. This is not a tool watch. I mean, we're lucky to have it at all, aren't we? I still appreciate the fact they've managed to put lume onto a dial like this. Okay, now let's talk about what's powering this watch and the reason why it's so special. Christopher Ward has made a new movement, the CW-003. It was designed exclusively for this watch, and we cannot forget just how well this movement has been designed on the front face as well as the back face. What sets this movement apart as well is the finishing to it. Something you would only get with very high-end Swiss watches and Grand Seiko level. But let's talk about this free-flowing, free-sprung balance wheel. Now, all mechanical watches, ladies and gentlemen, have a balance. It's basically the heartbeat of any mechanical watch. Power is stored in a mainspring, and via a gear train, that power is transferred to the balance wheel, and via a balance spring that pulls the wheel one way and releases it another, doing, 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 you get this oscillating movement. That's what regulates the time in your watch. Now, with all mass-produced movements, there usually is an adjustable arm that if you push it up to plus or minus, you can extend or decrease the length of the balance spring, and that regulates the beat rate. Now, with a free sprung balance wheel, there are weights attached to the center of it, and depending on how tight they are screwed or the position they are in, that is what is used to regulate the beat rate. Now, this way takes a hell of a lot more time and a lot more skill, but it makes the movement far more accurate. You only see this type of movement on very high-end watches. Now, the actual frequency to the C12 Loco is 28,800 beats per hour. That's 4 hertz. That's great. This is a manual wind only watch, so you have to drive the power in yourself. But listen, when you've got a watch like this, you want as much personal touch time as possible. It's not a watch you just want to set and forget. It's a watch you want to look at often and bond with, and if you're that inclined, show off a bit.
Hello.
On my 6.5-inch wrist, and wow, this is very cool. Very cool indeed. I really love the huge tapering of this rubber strap. Gives it a little bit of an elegance to it. Still hugely comfortable. The watch head itself fits perfectly on my wrist, and seeing that balance wheel, just mesmerizing. For a watch nerd, that is cool to see. This has the good weight of stainless steel. It's got an absolutely phenomenal looking front and back. Just an amazing statement piece without being too showy. As long as you haven't got the Jaffa Cake special. So there we go, the C12 Loco. What do you guys think? Is this a great sequel to the Bel Canto? Does this show the huge stature Christopher Ward now has in the watch market? You gotta say yes. There aren't many brands out there where you can buy a three-hander field watch well under £1,000 and then buy something Horology for £3,700. Yes, so this is not cheap. I think it's close to £4,000 if you want it on the integrated bracelet. For me, not being a huge fan of an integrated bracelet style watch, having it sent to me with the rubber strap I think was great, and it gives this watch just that little bit more of a casual sporty look than it would have done all stainless steel. Now if you've watched this channel long enough, you will know I am into my tool watches, the watches built for a purpose, to tell the time really. This is not a watch I would desire to own. However, I would definitely choose this one over the Bel Canto because I think the execution of this watch just feels and seems more defined. This does look like a second album watch. It feels like a lot of money has been pumped into the innovation and development of the movement. This is not a watch that has been made in the back sheds, behind closed doors. This is a watch that looks like the whole company has been pushing. And for anyone interested in it, I can't see a single fault to it. Maybe the water resistance, but that's being picky. And the price, but you got to mention the price, haven't you? But again, finding a watch with a free sprung balance wheel on any other brand, you'll be lucky you find it for under 5,000. Very lucky. So here is my wife's opinion on the C12 Loco. Oh. Well, this is quite impressive. I'm getting aeroplane propeller vibes, however, and it looks as though the colour has been chosen by a child under 5. But it does look very expensive, and I quite like it. Well, there you go, Christopher Ward. Is that an indication that my wife won't be too unhappy if one of these turned up in the old MWC watch box? I think I've got the all clear. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you want a bit more of the Mad Watch Collector, click there and join. But if I've got you for a few more minutes, and I know I have, why don't you check this one out? This, oh, well, this is quite sensational. Go on, click it, you'll love it. Go on, click it. You haven't got all... Ooh, Loco! Go, click it!